Hello everybody, this is Chuck here, Hillbilly Half Acre Homestead. We're going to take a look at this hive real quick. It's not going to take long, I don't think. Give it a little smoke there, a little smoke here in the hive entrance. Put a little smoke. There's a bunch of them in there, they ain't happy. Not happy at all, but I think at some point in time we had some crazy weather in February, early March. I think at some point in time this hive has gone queenless. Now I got a couple of queens ordered, supposed to be shipped to me from Georgia on Monday. This is recording date. This is actually on a Saturday, and they're going to ship them priority mail on Monday, so I should have those Wednesday or Thursday. But I'm afraid in the meantime I've got to make sure that I don't get, I don't have workers trying to lay in here, because if I do, then I can have a real pickle if I try to introduce those queens into this hive whenever I receive them. So I just got to kind of keep an eye on it. We did put a frame of brood in this hive on, I think it was Wednesday, or it might have been Tuesday of last week. So that's been in there, what, 4 or 5 days. I need to check on that and see what's capped off since I put the frame in there and what's emerged and what have you. Anyway, my goodness, they weren't happy in the hive for some reason. They've all run up into the lid. Never had them to do that before, but anyway, whatever it is they want to do, I'm going to throw a little smoke on them just in case here. Not too much. Just maybe get them moving around a little bit. But that ought to let them know I'm here if they don't know it already. So, this is a strong box of bees, no doubt.
Whoa.
So if I can get a queen, a good mated queen, and they didn't want to get off of there, did they? Uh-oh. I'll just put that right there. So, but I've got a couple of frames in here that I want to take a look at. These guys are definitely queenless. I've worked this hive several times, and they've been real gentle. I mean,
I'm gonna go grab your hive tool.
Cameraman, could you get me my hive tool over there? Misplaced my hive tool, left it sitting over there underneath the carport. Cameraman Austin's going to take care of it for me. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
So we're going to take a look. It's not as warm as I'd like for it to be, but I definitely need to take a look in this hive. So I've not been in here since about last Wednesday. So you're going to see what happens here when I see what's going on here. But, what I need to do is I'm going to need to check that frame that I put in here with viable brood in here. See what's up with that. And then, nice and easy does it. They're already ticked off. They're already ticked off without a queen, so they are bringing in some pollen, bright orange pollen. I guess that's probably, and they're putting nectar in here. You can, I don't know if I'm holding it just right for the camera, but yeah, see that bright orange? That's bright orange pollen. My guess is that would be dandelion or something like that. And you'll see them with yellow pollen. I've seen some with bright red all over them. I don't know exactly what kind of pollen that is, but I mean these gals would definitely love to have a queen, that's for certain. The good news is, of course, I'm only on the outside frame, but the good news is I don't see any eggs, and I don't want to see any, not at this point, because if I do, I know there's not a queen in here. This is a strong box of bees. I bought this hive in early February, and there was a queen in there, had about a softball to baseball sized brood cluster going in. So she was laying a little bit in February. Now can you see that honeybee right there on the bottom of that frame with that bright orange pollen? They're working, they're bringing in something. I was giving them a little bit of sugar water the other day in an entrance feeder, you know, a little jar. They'd suck it down in about a day, but they were finding something else too, because it's been kind of cool anyway. But I haven't given them any feed in probably 3 or 4 days because it's been cool, a little cool at night, and I knew they had plenty of stores in the hive anyway.
Have you ever chopped one of your gals up on the frames apart with your hive tool?
No, but I have mashed a few. I try not to. I mean, I don't care if there's 30,000 bees in here. Every little one of them is precious to me. You know, I mean, God made them. You know, that makes them special. You know, God made them. But we've got animals here. We've got rabbits, and we've got chickens and ducks and things, and raising up some young quail. Okay, every one of those animals are important to us. Now, some of them will end up being food someday. Some of those animals we will eat someday. Okay.
What are they?
But up until the point that we eat those animals, we want those animals to live comfortably and as stress-free as possible. And when we have to dispatch those animals so that we can clean those and prepare them for eating, we want to dispatch them as quickly as possible. We want to put them down. We don't want them to feel pain. We don't want them to suffer. We want their death, or, you know, their parting to be instantaneous. We respect the animals as much as we possibly can. I mean, it's just, if we don't need them to eat, we don't put them down. There's a couple of queen cups there, but there's not going to be nothing in them, or there shouldn't be. When we slide these frames together, you have to be careful. The little end bars, they're made to touch. A lot of people spread them out, but that's just going to cause you to have a lot of bird comb and what have you that you got to clean up every time you get in here. But these are made to touch, these end bars, and when you slide those frames up together, you got to make sure, or at least I do. Some people maybe don't care, but I make sure that there's not bees in between there. I'll put a little smoke down and make them move, because a lot of times they do crowd around right next to these end bars on these frames. And when they do, I just shoot a little smoke. I'll take a smoker. The way that's puffing on its own right now, it wouldn't take much, but just kind of like so. And I'll puff a little right down in there, and right down in there. See, that's one thing about the smoker. The way it's made, you can angle that smoke and put it right where you want it. Now, see the way they've moved away from these end bars inside there? I can slide that frame over now. Of course, I need to pull this one out and look at it first. Now, this is the one that I put in. You'll notice this is a medium frame. Looks like it. I don't know what happened to it. There's a queen cup on the bottom there. See that queen cup they built? Mm-hmm. They would put an egg in there if they had one, and make a queen out of it. But it's just an empty cup.
Is that honey right in there?
But let's see what we got over here. We put this frame of brood in here, but I had a feeling, I don't know, I didn't think they were gonna. Now there is a cell cup there.
Right down in there? Oh, there it is.
They've got cups all over this frame, but I'm just not for sure if there was any larvae of the correct age. Uh-oh, look at here. Look at there. There. You know what we're going to have to do when we get those queens in?
What?
We're going to have to look for a queen in this hive. You know why?
Because there's an empty cup, or there's an enclosed cup right there.
That is a capped queen cell right there. See the way they're piling up here?
Mm-hmm.
I think there could possibly be a larva in that cup right there. If I can get this thing positioned to where I can look in there. Okay, yeah, come here. Yeah, they're gonna cap that one too.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
See up inside there? You
Yeah.
see that little worm? I'm sorry, folks. We're not. I don't mean to ignore you here, but I'm getting a little excited here because we've got these bees and they're making cell cups, and we've got viable. I can't say embryo. I guess they're larvae, but it looks like we're gonna have little queens in here, and you know, just considering and the way they're piling up on those things, I need to get this frame back in there. That is enough. That is enough. That tells it's just not really warm enough to suit me out here today. I mean, I needed to do this because of the queens coming, and I'm still going to use those queens. Number one, I've got another little 5-frame nuke that I can put, that's got a few bees in it that I can put a queen in. It's queenless. Move them guys out of the way. I don't like to mash any bees when I slide these frames together. I think more, I'm into bees because I like the bees. I like what they do for people. You know, it's all wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I don't want to stress these bees out. Not just because I get stung, and I dropped that a little harder than I wanted to there, but see, there's a bee there. I'm going to try to keep from squashing. Now, okay, we're done. Let's see if we can get this done. Are we still rolling there, camera guy?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. I'm going to see. I'm afraid if I put that inner cover down like that, I'm afraid it's gonna, I'm gonna squash a whole bunch of bees, and I don't want to do that. Okay, get off my arm. Sting me on the arm, it's gonna kill you, and it's just gonna make me itch for about a week. So, you've got more to lose from a sting than I have. Oh, I got one of the little gals there. Poor thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down here. See if I can get them to move over, kind of like, slide that over kind of like so. I'm afraid I'm going to get some of these gals, but I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to get them to move. If I can.
Yeah, you got one on this side.
Yeah, and I bet I done mashed her too. Come on, baby, get out of there. Oh, they're beautiful.
Whenever you actually set it down, another one crawled in there.
But doggone it. See, it's trying to sting that wood. It just don't understand. All it had to do was get its head out of the way. Now, she pulled her head out, but I think it mashed her enough still that she's not going to make it. Yeah, see. What my guess is these bees right here, these are probably the young bees that emerged out of that frame of brood, and they're not really flyers yet. Most of these bees can fly off and fly back to the hive. Those right there, see how they had to go over and walk in? Oh,
I mean, they were on your back and stuff.
I took a sting Wednesday right here on the back of my leg, and I'm going to tell you, it didn't really hurt real bad, but it itches like crazy still. That's my thing is about the getting a bee sting. Now I get one in the face. I usually swell up. Looks like I've been in a fight. My eye almost swelled completely shut the other day. I took one on just above the eyebrow. But you know, that stuff hurts. Don't get me wrong, but in the face is the worst sting you can get. Especially if it's in the eye. We got a lot of them. Now I'm going to come over here and do this.
There you go.
Now, 2 left. Okay, well, I'm going to try to get this cover back on here without mashing all these gals. So, good news. Good news on the homestead as far as the bees, as far as the honeybees are concerned. We have one capped queen cell, and we've got a couple of other queen cells that it looked like they were able to start that's not capped yet, but it does look like it had a good strong start, you know, good strong larva in it. And well, we're just gonna let this go, let it play out. And you know, we've got queens coming, but that's okay, because if this works out, we'll just, instead of having 2 hives with the 2 queens that I ordered, we'll use what they've got going with these, and we'll just have another hive or 2. You know, if we can cut out queen cells or what have you, or transfer a frame, you know, we'll just do that and go from there. If the weather picks up in the next day or 2, I'm going to take another quick peek in here and look at that frame and see if that cap cell, see, since I haven't been in here since Wednesday, I don't know exactly when that cell would have been capped. I know it seems like they've made it probably today, actually, because I'll have to do the math. I'll have to get online and look at that again. I can't really know. I don't really remember the math, but we'll get it straightened out.